Opening.
Oh,
Put them on and off. I go both ways. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to Two Tired Twats Comedy Podcast. My name is Patty Rossborough, and I'm here with the lovely, the sexy,
the fattest I've ever been.
no, the
Carrie
beautiful,
Carabas.
soon to have a birthday
Soon to have a birth.
day.
Patty, I'm not pregnant.
Carrie
fuck
Carabas is here.
Cheers, everybody. I'm here.
And she brought cakes for us just to piss off Kevin Brennan so we can eat during the show and make, as my sister calls them, vagina noises with our mouths. Yes, she hates that.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
And then we have, back by popular demand,
The very funny.
the very funny.
The very crazy.
I have to look it up so I don't.
Steve!
Steve Marshall is here.
And he's not behaving tonight.
No, I'm not. I want to just mention that people don't see what goes on before the show begins, but they have a very subversive nature to get me crazy. Patty, 2 minutes ago, was just saying, what's that thing called when a man has trouble before he's having,
And
the
she
thing
looked
before
right
he
at-
has
she looked right at
sex?
you, Steve.
Then it's like,
She was like-
and then Carrie goes, performance anxiety. Hi, welcome to Two Tired Twats with Steve Marshall. Don't talk about performance anxiety before.
But I do have performance anxiety when it comes to remembering people's names. If I know I have to know your name, I will not remember it. And if I'm hosting a show, like emceeing or whatever,
But that's not performance anxiety
What
in
is
the
it?
bed, because in the bed, a lot of men might actually be harder if they don't know the person they're with. You don't need to know their name.
I actually have performance anxiety in the bed until I get going. I'm always in my head thinking, what if I don't come? What if I'm not good?
What if I don't-
Right.
What if it's
Well,
not?
you're like a football player. You need to get the first hit.
That
Like, you
is
like,
exact-
You need to get like a cock slapped in your face or something, and then it's like football. It's like the first hit. You're ready for the game. Oh, you're gonna hit me in the face with your fucking cock? I'll show you what's gonna go on here, buddy. Then you give the hard ball squeeze. That brings us to Carrie.
I don't even want to chime in on this one.
I don't know what just happened. What happened to our podcast?
You're making me hot over here.
No, because and I
It
was
was
thinking
turned
about
on
this.
right now.
So
I
I'm
don't
on a
like
show. With
Why do you
two-
have your coat on? It's fucking 99.999.
Because I think, you know what? And I'm going to get in trouble right there, because I think I'm a black person, and I'm at the Magic Johnson Cinema, and they don't take their clothing off anywhere they go because they're afraid it's going to get stolen. I don't care anymore. All right?
Wait, who's
Trust
going
me,
to
no
steal
one's
your
stealing this.
This is a nice coat. What is wrong with me?
It's nice. It's nice.
This coat makes me look like half a fag.
You actually do look
No,
very
I think
handsome.
it makes you look like a full fan.
What is that on your coat?
It's
What's
like
the
a
white
zipper,
lips?
a baby zipper.
What's
Is
that
this
white
a
lips?
I'll
girl's
show you the
coat?
coat. It's really nice.
What's
It's
that
a
white
girl's
thing, though?
coat.
It
Depends on
does
how,
have
depends
kind
on how I sit.
It's like a peacoat, right?
it's
Not
like a
peacoat.
no, it's
you guys
not.
know nothing.
Sorry.
It's a
One
moto
Jew here
It's
in the
a
garment
moto
business.
jacket.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
look-
moto.
yeah.
Okay, that is gay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Look.
Yeah, that is a little
It's
bit
more
gay.
I'm an artsy fartsy.
It looks like a baby onesie. You know how you zipper a baby into that?
Yeah.
Take
I
that
am.
fucking
I'm
thing
just
off.
Like that, so.
So
Take it
people,
off.
so we'll have men listen to the show. Take it. Okay,
That's
now he's sucking
hysterical.
his thumb.
Okay.
Get it off.
The show has screeched to a halt.
Okay, and I want to just recap our last show. Can I recap our last show?
Yeah,
Because I was listening
okay.
to it on the way down. Just a quick recap.
A recap, okay.
Steve's aunt murdered his grandmother. Okay, this is if you missed the last show, Steve's aunt murdered his grandmother and put her in a coma for a year, and then she dropped dead. His other grandmother slipped.
Well, she didn't murder her. She put her into a coma.
Yes.
And then she died in the coma.
Yeah, so they
Okay,
had a
but
yeah,
she
Carrie.
didn't kill her that minute.
No, but I think if they had brought her to trial, if any of you had stepped
Carrie is a
forward,
good attorney, but what happened? They
Yeah,
had
you
an
are- would be a good
They had an
attorney.
argument.
Yeah.
Because when you put three Jewish women in a house together, it's going to be an explosive situation, or three Italian women, or maybe anybody. And
I
they
don't
had
know
an
anyone
argument,
who-
and my Aunt Frances, through the phone, and my Grandma Greenberg hit her in the head, putting her into a coma for a year. I don't know why this is so funny.
I don't think.
If only they had cell phones in those days, my grandmother would be alive.
Hey, though.
please.
I don't believe she purposely
No, no.
went
she
to
didn't
kill
aim.
her.
Well, nobody purposely tries to kill people. I mean, unless you're a serial
She
killer.
whacked her once, and the woman fucking lost her footing.
what
That
if she-
isn't my problem that you fucking fell on the floor and cracked your skull.
Who whacks an old lady in the head? Who?
If
I
only
don't-
my grandmother had Bluetooth, she
Can
would
we
be
stop
here.
with
She would
these-
be here today.
Okay, and then
So
the
that
re-
was the beginning. And then we weren't allowed in the bedroom, which made everything scarier because the adults First of all, they had her in Maimonides for a year.
What's Maimonides?
Maimonides is a hospital for Jewish people that get hit in the head with phones, and they have a whole phone section. She was in the Sprint wing, and
But wasn't she the non-Jewish grandmother?
no,
or
no,
that
this was
the
the
other
Jewish grandma. This was the
Okay.
Jewish. I said these were Jewish. This is a situation where my grandmother's 85. My Aunt Frances is like 60, moves back in. My Aunt Henrietta's 58, moves back in. My Aunt Blanche moves back in. All these
What are
three
they,
Jewish
fucking
women.
lesbians?
No, I'll tell you why they moved in, because all their husbands died voluntarily. Voluntarily, every one of their husbands decided to commit. My cousin Howard tells the funniest thing. When in those days, you didn't see the woman nude before you had sex with her, and he said yes when my Uncle Maurice went to have sex with Aunt Francie and he saw her snatch, after that, for an hour, he was on the couch crying, what did I do? What did I do? I ruined my life. What did I do? I can't look at this ever again.
Oh, my
What did I
God.
do? I ruined my life.
So you get married, like you don't see her naked before you get married.
Well, I know you were born like in 2016.
Yeah.
But there were people.
Yeah, back in the day, you
Yeah, I'm
weren't
3.
supposed. Even when I was growing, that was the thing. Like in the 50s, you weren't supposed
Thank
to.
God
see
you
it.
broke that chain. You broke right out of
I
that
did.
tradition.
Fuck that with the Catholic thing.
Yeah.
Now and then your stepfather hated you.
Yeah, he did hate
and
me.
then your mother hated you. Your father hated you.
Well, I
Well,
mean, this
yeah.
is your second time on our show.
Okay,
I'm
so-
starting to fucking hate you.
okay.
I mean, it's not taking long. No, I'm kidding. All right, so
Well,
go
you
ahead.
know, because Carrie also is very much, she finds the honesty
Yes.
and the loopholes in these things. So I know you're very smart at finding the loopholes and
I
the
do,
honesty.
I do.
So
Right.
you had said the last time you were on, you go something about your Aunt Frances. Then you go, but that's a whole other story. Now, is there a story with Aunt Frances that we need to know, or were you just
Well,
like?
there's a few Aunt Frances stories. First of all, she was 4'10".
But wait, here's what I want to ask about if whatever the fucking name is.
Frances?
Frances.
Was she married and does she have children?
No, she was married to Uncle Maurice.
No children?
No children.
What happened to all the money?
Well, that's the thing. She had a lot of money because we were told that she had AT&T stock and it split. This is a wonderful conversation for children. By the way, for those of you who aren't Jewish, this is what they talk about when you're 7 years old. So Aunt Frances is AT&T stock and it split.
So
You
who
know,
got the money?
His sister, the pill popping.
No, your sister got the Aunt
Cock
Frances
No,
sucking
my
sister.
sister got my Aunt Ruth's money. My sister's the one, if she listens in, and she does listen because she
All right.
liked it. My sister's like a vulture. She waits for somebody in the family to
almost die.
almost die, and then I'll be the executor of your will.
Sign the paper.
Right, exactly. I told you, if we ever go, don't ever, if I'm ever in a hospital bed, don't let my sister in the room. It'll be whatever happened to Baby Jane. I'll be in there like Joan Crawford, and my sister will be at the front of, she's writing a letter to Daddy. Well, you know, I told you the last time with Victor Boner. Is Blanche there? Blanche is sleeping. Is Stephen there?
So true.
Stephen is sleeping. He can't see you right now.
So wait a minute. So you didn't get anybody's money from
No, I don't get it.
anywhere.
Well, I got a measly, a paltry amount of money, which I'm not going to say, from my sister. And my sister put it this way when my mother passed away. All right, my sister put it this way: you can either get the check from the bank, or I could give it to you.
Yeah, that's very clever.
Yeah.
That's clever on
So
her
I didn't
part.
care. I listen. As much as I didn't like my mother, I was very distraught. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
very, very upset
Yes.
that she passed away. I don't care about
You know
money.
what? I noticed that when people don't like somebody, and when they die, it's almost like these feelings of guilt, and it's almost like a more painful experience than it is for someone that you did like.
Right, I agree. Because you have conflicted feelings about the person.
Right,
when
you're
they-
like, oh fuck, I hated this person,
I
and
did this,
and then
I did
everything,
that.
right, and then all
I-
these
well,
guilt feelings come
yeah.
back, and then you're like, fuck, you know, like it eats away at you for
Yeah, yeah.
years.
Well, what was eating away at me is, of course,
That
I
your
really
sister got all the
wanted-
money.
My sister got all the money.
Are you eating cheesecake with your fingers?
Yeah, I am. I really don't. Let me tell you another thing. In the old days on radio, as comedians, we loved to do radio because you didn't have to dress up, you didn't have to do your hair. Now
That's
they
right.
shoot radio shows.
This is a podcast, though. This is not a radio show.
It's like a radio show.
It almost is.
If my tongue is repetitively flicking on your clit, I am eating pussy. no matter what you
Wait a
call
minute.
it.
Let's pray to God
Where
that
did
never happened.
Wow.
Yeah, where did that come out of? At this point in my life, I don't even need that.
You don't care?
I don't need that.
Well, what does that mean?
I mean, when I was younger, I needed it. Now I'm older, I don't need it.
now I try
can-
to avoid it.
I can
every
get to where I'm
chance I
going
can.
without it.
I could. Me too.
Yeah. So
What is that? What is that? So, in other words, you don't need the preparatory foreplay. Is that what you're
I
saying?
can need one, but not that. That was a.
That was a. You had
that
a
was-
gun to your head.
Yeah, if you didn't do that, you were out.
You
now
were
I'm
out.
like, no, I don't care about that now.
Well,
I don't know what
dude,
happens when you get.
you know me. I mean,
You are the one who likes
no,
to
I
eat
love
the-
I love eating
eat the
pussy.
veg.
I mean, I tell I'm a,
Still with the girlfriend though? After
Yes.
a long still.
yeah, I'm still with. Listen, I've been miscast as many things. I was married for about 7 years,
Again,
and
she
I've
tried
always
to
did
kill
well-
you. She stabbed
Oh,
you.
she tried to stab me with a serrated knife in the kitchen, and then my mother said that's because you push people.
Yeah.
Well, you
that's
know
my
what? Maybe
favorite.
she should have tried the phone. Because phones are effective.
Imagine that. You see it one light. Late at night, American Greed, and you see there were a series of unusual deaths by phones being thrown to the head. Right?
It's
That's
such a
the
good
murder
way to
weapon.
kill someone because, it's
It's
not
not-
like it's not a weapon. So
Right.
there's the phone. Nobody thinks to, test the phone for
Yeah,
blood.
but you know what? You have to really have a big phone to kill
Well,
someone.
it was a big phone. It was like, it was,
Yeah,
it
the
had the
rotary
cord and
is-
everything. And, my Aunt Frances must have been talking, and my grandmother was, will you get, I can't do the Yiddish accent, will you get off the phone? You've been on the phone get off the phone. I'll get off the phone, bang.
Wait a
And
minute.
that's
She
how it
threw the
happened.
bottom part of the
No,
phone,
she
though.
threw
The
the
big.
phone. Maybe she did throw
The
the bottom
actual
part.
phone.
Could you imagine she throw the thing with the
Well, no wonder
dial
she
in?
fucking
like a
died.
brick.
You see my grandmother over there the next night. She's got a catcher's mask on. The whole house is. She's there waiting for the phone. Put it in. Put it.
Let me
throwing
ask you a
signals.
question. How did Aunt Frances die?
Oh, old age.
Oh, so
And this
nobody
is very
threw a phone
important.
at her?
No,
Okay, go ahead.
My Aunt Frances was actually very cool and mentally ill. In the 19
Mentally ill?
Well, my whole family has a lot of I'm an idiot for bringing this up here.
Why? Go ahead.
You may not know this because I'm so
Normal.
normal, but my
Totally.
family has a history of mental illness.
In what way?
Well, my father was supposedly manic depressive or bipolar. He had
Wait a
many-
minute. Wait a minute. Your father was bipolar. Maybe you're bipolar, Steve.
Say it, don't spray it.
I
I
hit
just
you?
thought that was so stupid to say to that.
Wait a
Who would
minute.
answer? Yes, but nobody thinks about it. Now this is how I get going. Right.
'Cause
That
you're
everyone
manic.
you read a book, oh, bipolar, manic, hereditary. Now one person in my family ever thinks to go, we should keep an eye on him. I'm running around the house like a maniac getting excited over things. Nobody thinks something's wrong.
I'm looking at you right now.
I definitely think something's
There's
wrong.
something very. You are bipolar. Have you ever been tested or gone to a doctor?
You don't have to.
There's nothing
Here's
wrong with
what
it.
bipolar does.
First
it
of all-
goes crashes.
That's right.
And then it goes really
First of all-
high, and
Yeah.
then it crashes.
There's
Yeah.
absolutely nothing wrong with any of these mental illnesses if you're functional and you're not hurting people. And what happened to my father was he didn't like working in the garment industry. My father was a very bright guy. At 15 years old, he got into NYU on a scholarship.
Okay.
I don't even know if they took Jews in those days. Believe it or not, I know NYU. It's hard to believe that they didn't like Jews.
Yeah,
But
that's
in
true.
the,
Jews
but
were
in the
not
40s,
popular back in the day.
No, except in Germany. We can't get enough of them. Get in there. Now, we love the Holocaust. Remember that. My Uncle Abe.
It never happened.
Well, then it's
Gary.
okay to joke about it if it never happened.
I love the way they say it never happened. It's like
Isn't that the most?
What is
That is
that?
the most insulting thing that you could
It
ever
never
say. It
happened.
didn't happen.
Who- what?
The deniers. They're the deniers. They say it about Sandy Hook too. They're fucking crazy people. I don't even know what's
they
in it for
think
them
if they
to
say
it.
it never happened, it really did. It can
Right,
turn back time.
right.
It won't happen.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
rip
yeah.
the pages out of the history book.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's funny you say denial, and I know this is a long leap from that, but it's the same thing with mental illness or even people denying women's feelings. Do you know what I
What do
mean?
you mean women's feelings?
Well, women have feelings, maybe like, I'll really open this one up today.
We do have feelings. Carrie, do you?
What kind of feelings?
You know,
I think in
Emotional
America,
feelings?
I think in America, women have become such men that we've completely lost all our sentimental feelings and our feelings. We're tough guys now.
I think I'm kind of a girl because I don't like doing shit for myself. Does that mean like?
No,
That's
That's
not like
what
You
I'm
don't like
talking
doing
about.
shit for yourself? You're not a girl. You're a
She
Jewish
doesn't
man.
like taking out the garbage. I don't
do
either.
not- I
I
don't
like-
do it. I don't do anything. Michelle does everything.
What do you mean she does everything?
She does everything. She cooks, she cleans, she does laundry, she does everything. I'm telling you right now, if I eat
Do you pay for the apartment?
a little bit.
You're a gigolo.
But I have my own apartment.
You're a fucking gigolo.
I have my own apartment. I'm telling you, if
What
I'm
do you mean
eating
you have your own apartment?
What is this? We have
What do you have two? What the fuck kind of a relationship? You've been with her for fucking 10 years, and you have your each
He's
have
got
your
his own apartment.
Yes.
This is so
It's
like
rent controlled.
This is.
That's yes.
Is that
I have
true?
my own
And you
apartment.
rent it out to someone else?
No, I don't. I have
It's
an
his. It's
apartment.
his
my
man cave.
apartment.
And what do? You live there, and then you just
It's
come
your
when
man
you
cave.
feel like seeing
first
her?
of all, since my family was so wonderful, going back to my mother, after my father died, within 3 weeks, she had met a banker.
Oh, yeah, that also hated
And
you.
then when we were 18 years old, so he didn't have to adopt me in any way, she moved to Pittsburgh with this investment banker.
And left you behind?
Yeah, I never went home
Steve?
again. I never went home again. And so I've had all my possessions literally since I'm a child with me, and they're in my apartment, all my possessions.
But here's the thing, Steve. If you now leave this beautiful rent-controlled apartment, right? It's in Manhattan.
Right.
Your rent is probably it's great
It's
rent.
affordable, yes.
Right? And you'd say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to make the move. You move in with her. 3 weeks later, she's like, you got to get the fuck out.
Right.
Now you lost your apartment, now you're homeless, now you're living in the fucking streets.
Listen, but
That's
when
why I
you're
like-
in love, you got to make the leap, Steve. You got to it's a
No.
leap of faith. You got to
No.
just. You disagree?
I disagree.
What are you saying? What about to me or to her?
No, to her.
You
no.
you gotta fucking.
You can't take
Carrie-
that chance
Carrie's-
if you got a rent-controlled
she's
apartment in the city.
She's too practical. She can't even.
Yeah, you gotta be.
She
What
can't
about the
even
love,
take,
Carrie?
You got to take the leap, Carrie.
No.
You took a leap.
I did, but I had no apartment
Yeah, she
rent-controlled
didn't have
in the
a,
city.
she didn't have a choice. That's why.
Fucking,
'cause
I
you
leached
had
on
nothing-
his money.
It wasn't even a leap.
He's got a pension.
Yeah, that's not a leap at that
That's
point.
not
That's not a leap. That's a sin.
No.
He
That's
made
like
a leap.
He made a leap to.
He made the leap.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the way- she has great confidence that she's like, he made the leap to you. He
That's
stepped
right.
up.
But maybe you need to make a leap, Steve. I know why you don't want to make a leap.
Why don't I want to make
Because
a leap?
everybody fucked you as a kid.
wait, hold
and
on.
your mother, your father, your except for your grandmother, who then was killed by your aunt.
I have
like,
more cheesecake because I'm getting emotional.
Wait, why wouldn't she move into your rent controlled apartment? Is
Yeah,
her
why
is her
wouldn't she?
apartment rent controlled?
Well, let's
You don't want her
let's
there.
Let's continue the saga.
It's not a
Please.
big apartment.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's not it. My girlfriend is a property manager.
Yes.
Okay. Which means that she has to have everything in the apartment her way. Do you
Oh.
understand that?
Oh, I see.
You understand that? I told you this. When I come home, I
You didn't tell me
quietly I
this.
come in at 2 a.m. Come home at 2 a.m. I quietly put the key. The Sheba Mason is outside there. Heaven forbid the people in here, but another Jew has to get more attention than me.
Go ahead.
Steve doesn't like when you look away from him when he's telling a story. Look,
well,
my,
I look at you guys.
my eyes are on you,
I'm
baby.
very focused.
Yeah, we're very focused all
So,
day you.
When I come home at 2 a.m. from a gig, thank you, I'm very sloppy.
So
That's
hot in
another thing.
here.
I'm very
Oh, I'm
sloppy.
sweating like an animal.
It is
I-
Jesus, Mary and
I have the
Joseph.
AC
So
turned up
fucking
as-
hot. My head's sweating.
It's
Oh
turned
my
up
God.
literally
He does
as
this on
high
purpose.
as
Hey,
it
you
goes.
had curly
No.
hair when you came in here. Now it's flat from the sweat.
This
Turned
is
up
like
as high as it goes.
this is like doing a podcast at Auschwitz.
This is-
They're like,
I- Oh, I can't breathe. I'm like,
Oh
my
my
even
God.
my tits
Wait
are
till the
sweating.
summer
underneath.
hits.
Ay, ay,
that's how
ay.
you know it's hot.
When your tits
are-
sweat.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
So when I come home, remember again that remember I'm a slob. She's very neat. She's
Oh,
a
I didn't know
property
you were a
manager.
slob. Okay,
She's
that's
a property.
bad.
I'm a hoarder.
Oh,
She
me
would-
too. Okay.
All right, you know what I mean.
Yep.
She would,
Me too.
I'm a hoarder too.
yeah. So she disposes of everything
Oh,
of mine of
that's not
value.
good. Okay.
You know what I mean. If
Okay.
I had a wooden leg, she'd throw it away if it didn't fit in the house. What those? You don't need those crowns. You know what I mean.
I like that though. I wish I could be like that.
No,
throw
no,
shit
no.
out?
No, you have
Yeah.
a big heart. You see,
It's not my
under-
house. Forget
Can
it.
I diagnose you two? Then we can get
Yeah, go
back
ahead.
to my,
Please
my
do.
girlfriend who's listening now, and I'd like
She
to have.
is listening?
Yeah, I'd like she adores
I
you.
really love
she
your
adores
girlfriend.
you
I
guys.
think she's
yeah.
a doll.
I've
And
never met her. I would love to meet her.
She's got pretty blue eyes. She's very sweet.
Big
very
tits.
cute. She's got Jewish tits. The
Oh,
Jewish
they're
girls have
huge.
big tits. Why
Yeah.
is that?
Why is that?
Well, I think because they come from cold countries
Does
like
that mean?
Russia, so you need the extra. It protects you.
But you know
Okay,
what
I
I've
don't
noticed
believe
about
that.
Jewish girls? They tend to have skinny legs and little asses, but giant boobs. Why
Big
is
boobs.
that?
I don't know. I never look at their feet and asses. I'm there like this.
I never. Yeah. No.
She told me because she goes to me. You know, I have very tiny feet. I never looked at them. I never looked.
They do
beyond
have
here.
little feet.
I really
that
don't
choose.
care.
Yes.
Even when I'm eating her out. I was eating her out the other night. I know, honey, you're watching this, and she gets very upset by or sometimes.
she
She
doesn't want
mutes
you
me
to-
like so. I'm eating her out the other night. I'm just squeezing the tits. I just squeezing and
While
grabbing
you're eating
them.
her out?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on at one time.
You got to do more than one thing. I read that in a book once that you
I
have
don't
a
know,
lot
the way
of.
you did that made me want to go. Stop.
I know. Let me tell you something. I
It's
don't.
very painful.
I don't like too many things going on at once. I cannot
Oh, my
multitask
God.
in the bedroom.
All right, well, let me-
give me a little of this, and when you're done with that, now give me a little
Well,
of
can
that.
I
Don't
can
be
I
fucking
defend
mixing
can I
up my
defend
shit.
my technique, which has been
If
well
a guy
reviewed?
if my husband, I said if a guy grabbed my tits
Right.
and was going down on me, I would punch him right in the head. I'd be like, "Stop!"
No, you would hit me with a phone. Listen,
Or a phone.
First of all, you have to know the woman's breast, what she likes. And this is why it takes a lot of courage as a man. I always said
She
this.
likes it.
You have to go in there, snap that nipple, and if you don't get smacked, you go back in with that technique.
Okay, but then she might go, okay, that's too much.
I've
But
had
you have
enough
to
of
pay
this, yeah.
attention.
Yes.
And also, sometimes women with very large breasts are actually less sensitive
That is true.
than women with very small breasts. God works in mysterious ways. The women that have very large breasts sometimes have hardly any nipple. You can't find it. The women that are flat-chested have the eraser nipples. So it's a very odd.
Can I tell the story about you?
Oh, no.
I don't know if I've ever told this on the air. Okay. So I'm talking to
cake.
Steve. Did I even know you that well then? I don't even know. It
Probably
was like
not.
25
I need
years ago,
cake.
maybe 30 years ago, whatever. We're at Stand Up New York. And I go to him. I'm reading this book. I don't know what we're talking or whatever. And there was some other guy there. I go, I'm reading this book about peak moments in your life, peak moments. And then the other guy goes, well, what's your peak moment? I go, I don't know. Probably when I gave birth and they put my baby on my chest and I looked at her eyes and I breastfed her and it was my peak moment both times. And I go, what was your peak moment? Do you remember what you told me?
Yes, I do know. I believe
ahead.
it's the threesome I had with the two Swedish girls in Reading, Pennsylvania, after I did the bowling alley gig. I met them at a Burger King. Look, I knew it immediately. I met them at a Burger
At
King.
a Burger King.
I met them at a
totally
Burger King.
remember
I said
this.
hello to
Wow.
them.
20
I said,
years ago.
I said, hi, who are you? And they were like, Inga, binga, binga. I said, this is great. And one was 18 and blonde and small with large breasts. The other was 19 and tall with brown
Wait, you
hair.
told them to come to your show?
No. Listen, I mean, I'm not like most comedians. I'm a comedian. Oh, you know what I mean? I have a game. I'm a nice guy. I was just a nice guy. I said, I remember them perfectly. One was Vicky. This is like 25. One was
That's
Vicky,
exactly what
and one
I
was
started-
Emma. They were lovely girls. And I said, where are you staying? What are you doing? They said, we're au pairs. Au pairs? Oh. So I said,
He's
and they
miming
said, well, we're
having
going.
his cock sucked.
That's my blowjob thing if you come to. Oh. So
when you hear that,
two
that's what
hands.
he's doing.
May I quote the great Otto and George? I exaggerate to clarify. Because people go, oh, that's not how you give a blowjob. It's comedy, idiots. It's not like what these kids do today. They're on stage like a zombie. Like Jackie Gleason. But can it core a apple? Heaven forbid you move.
All
So,
right, calm down now, Steve.
so my father said
Give
that
us
even
the
a
story.
train
What
stops, but it
happened?
doesn't stop.
What
So
do you mean
now,
even a train
What
my
stops?
father didn't like me when I was so I would he
he'd
would
say
tell me
even
even a train stops. He didn't like my enthusiasm for life. He was a little depressed. He didn't like my enthusiasm for life. He sold men's rainwear for a
Yeah,
living.
but if this kid was jumping
It's
off the walls like
horrible.
this, I would have to medicate.
I
him.
know you
Medicate?
Ritalin you should have had as a
I just
kid.
wanted to be loved. I give love. I love you both so much.
I'd
and now
love
that-
you until you shut the fuck
Ritalin,
up.
Ritalin is one step away from get in the shower.
It's from what's that other thing they do? Shock treatments and a lobotomy.
My father had shock
My
treatments.
Aunt Rose had shock. They made her get the goddamn shock
What
treatments.
is that?
Because she
Wait, do they
wouldn't
put
have the-
electrocute your head?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
made
Is
her.
it,
they
is it
for-
painful?
Yes, they forced her to have an abortion.
They-
My Uncle Stanley.
Oh, no.
They put her in the, and so she got mad. She threw all the shit out the window, all his stuff. He comes home, all his shit's out the window. He's like, "That's it. You're mentally ill. You're going to the insane asylum." This is in the 50s, so back then insane
Right,
asylums were
right.
shit was smeared on the wall. They put you in a straitjacket, and they gave you shock treatments and a lobotomy. I believe my Aunt Rose had a lobotomy because she came out like a fire. She was like that.
And she's the only
And
woman.
that was it? She stayed like that?
Yeah, she was like that. Like you talk to her, but her eyes never made contact with you, and she smoked on. She go, "I think that I like a hamburger." You know, like talk like that.
Was she normal at one point?
My father goes. He goes, it's so sad. He goes, because when my sister was a young woman, she was in love with this guy, and he got blown out of the air. Was it during the war? I don't know. But anyway, he was either shot down in a plane, or the plane crashed. He was the love of her life. He died. Her life was never right, because then she meets this older guy. He's a cop. He's got kids, and he was bad to the bone. This guy fucking stole shit. He was bad. And he was, I think I told you this, he was trying to kill her and my grandmother. He had done all this stuff. He had written these notes saying that had killed her. Like, he was doing really diabolical shit. But anyway, I think she had that.
Well, because I tried.
But what made her father do that to her?
It wasn't her father. It was her husband. Stanley was her husband.
Oh.
Stanley didn't want to have another baby because he had grown kids. So she's this young, beautiful girl. She got pregnant. She wants to have a baby. She's all excited. He's like, no, you're getting that aborted. She goes, no, I'm not. He brought her to and there were no legal abortions. Backroom abortion. But and she was traumatized. They took that baby right out of her. She came home This is like a horrible story.
She
for
couldn't
a
leave him?
podcast.
She couldn't leave him?
She felt like she couldn't leave him because she was also
But
attached
why
to her
didn't
mother.
she go to her mother and
Because
say,
she was attached to her mother. Everyone who made it out away from Mickey, my grandmother, my crazy Irish grandmother, made it in life. Like Kitty ran away. She went to California. My grandmother tried to get my father to stay with her and leave my mother and everything. She was the Irish, like, you have to stay with me. You have to show loyalty.
Yeah, but wouldn't she leave the husband and say, fuck you, I'm not getting
she
an
had
abortion?
no sense of herself.
But you see,
you couldn't back
you
then.
know
Back
something
then,
that-
you
you
did
know
what
what
your
happens
husband
But how
said.
does the husband say you got to get a lobotomy and then they do it?
Well, he didn't say they had to get a lobotomy, but maybe she was acting up in the place. And he's like,
Same with my
go take
father.
it. They're acting up. Go. She's not agreeing to take a shower when she has to take a shower. She's not going to bed.
Remember
Give her
what
shock
I told
treatments.
you before, denying a woman's feelings? Denying a woman's feelings. So they come in, deny this woman's feelings that maybe she feels unsafe at home or maybe she doesn't want to have a baby,
Yeah,
denying their feelings.
She
Same-
did want to have a baby.
And
yeah.
my father, the same thing. How did my mother sign him up for these shock treatments?
See, and that's what could happen. Other people could sign you up.
And
All
I
you
was
needed was
scared
2
because I thought
signatures.
I was
Not
next.
anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I thought I was next. Do you understand
Oh
that?
my God, that
Wow.
is scary.
Because I was the
That is
hyper
scary.
child, and
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
I was next. So that's the whole conflict I have as an adult. When you guys watch me running
So
around.
what happened to your father? Did he get like blah, 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 blah?
They didn't give him a lobotomy, though, did they?
No, because he wasn't Francis Farmer. No, remember that
Francis-
movie? They
yeah.
did it to the fame
That
actress.
scared
They had
me.
already gone beyond that. But
The other
they
thing
gave-
did fry your
Wait a
brain
minute,
back
what
in
do
the
they
day.
do? They
They
zap you?
it's your frontal lobe. I believe your frontal lobe is the thing that stops you from it's wherever the anger is located.
believe-
they
they
just
bel-
clipped it out,
They
so you
wait,
weren't
that's
angry.
a lobotomy, and that was
That's
almost
a
like an
lobotomy.
ice. That was almost
And then
like an
what?
ice
You get
pick.
brain dead? Like
yeah,
brain damage?
that's what they did to the Kennedys. You know, the Kennedys that they had that retarded daughter. They took the when the mother went on vacation. You know, the mother of all those kids. The Kennedy father took the daughter because she was acting up and he had heard that a lobotomy would take care of her acting up because she was a
So
little
think
retarded.
again what you-
And then she came back a vegetable. They put her in a home and
But
nobody
this
ever
is
saw
it.
her again.
How many children? Who are you to not you? Who is one
Right.
to diagnose whether a child is acting up or they're enthusiastic?
I agree.
I had great grades. I was a good kid.
Right.
My father got the shock. They electrocute your head. They put a thing in your mouth.
That's right.
I used to go visit my father. I was
in
12
the,
years
in the
old.
mental institution?
Yeah, my mother would take
Do
me.
they
She
really
wouldn't.
think that works?
What?
They did back then. They
Yeah,
did.
and
It works.
and it could work on some people. It probably could, but it didn't work on my father. But think of what happened to me as a
What
child.
happened to your father, though? Was he
What do you mean?
normal
Was he-
after that?
My father died he died very shortly after, because then, like Patty's alluding to, in the 50s, nobody talked about depression. Nobody understood bipolar.
Yeah.
My father died, and then in 1971,
What did
the
he
cover,
die of, though?
I'm going to say
Oh,
the
okay.
cover of Newsweek magazine in 1971 had a cover, and it said the unspoken or the embarrassing disease, depression. Nobody spoke about that. We were not allowed to tell people that my father was in a
Well,
mental
maybe
institution.
my
because
God.
his head was zapped 10 times that he went fucking crazy.
No, I'll tell you what happened.
I don't believe it.
I'll
Okay,
tell you
what?
what happened. So they were experimenting with drugs, and we know the drug companies want to make a lot of money, and they were
Right.
So they were giving him lithium and Librium.
Oh, God.
And that's a drug which you have to really monitor.
Right.
And it blew out his insides. He had to wear a colostomy bag.
Are you shitting me?
So I just want to say,
Oh.
for everybody who sees me running around like a maniac in a comedy club, Or for our president, who said that Beto is crazy Beto O'Rourke, because he uses his hands.
Right.
Just because somebody uses their hands or runs around with enthusiasm doesn't mean that they should be given shock treatment or they're a maniac.
Mentally
No,
ill.
but they are crazy.
Carrie. No, but it's terrible because I do feel like that there are kids, and then the kid acts up, and the parent
The
doesn't
kid
want
is
to
supposed to act
right,
up. I
and
said
they're
this a
giving
million.
them
They go,
drugs.
oh, he's got attention deficit.
I know.
He's a normal kid. He's in third grade. I don't like math. Oh, zip, zip, zap, zap.
Yeah,
Zip,
drugs
zip,
is
zap. He's the only normal one. What kid, if you're not Asian, what kid goes, oh, math, good, math, good. Hiya, math, good. Oh, chop that, math, good. A normal kid just goes, this sucks.
Right.
Okay.
And then maybe if you're a healthy Asian kid, you go, and you don't use the Asian voice, you go, I don't believe in this. I just, I want to play handball outside with the other,
You don't
with
use
the
the
lesbian
Asian
girls and the FDR. And they're not lesbians yet, but they are. They're playing handball. They have mustaches. But,
Oh my God. Go ahead.
I laughed so hard.
All
I'm
right,
sweating now.
so thank God
Yeah.
you're not allowed to do that.
no,
to
but the
people
thing
anymore.
is, look at where denial of people's feelings, and I really am a feminist, denying a woman's feelings then led to this woman having to get an abortion against her will.
Right.
Then it led to this woman maybe getting a lobotomy.
I don't know if
Because
it was a
because
lobotomy
think
or
about
not.
this a second. If
Well,
this
if
was
she
a
was
four-
like, this is a nice burger.
But it could have been that the shot treatments went badly because if you did those shots, they would fry your
But
brain.
it doesn't
also.
matter.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
point
yeah.
is, in the 40s and the 30s, if you were a woman and you talk back,
Yeah.
they could fry you.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. You don't. You
They
you
could
can't
fry
misbehave,
you.
as you would say.
Heaven
Don't-
forbid, yeah. That's why my whole thing is misbehave. You got to misbehave. Don't behave. Because let me tell you something. What I've learned from experience, and I have a degree in accounting. I turned down a job at Price Waterhouse. I was a dean of a business school. Believe
Wait a
me,
minute.
I'm
You
an
were
educator.
dean of a business
That's
school?
correct. I taught business law. I taught
You
math.
taught
Oh my
business.
God,
What the fuck,
Steve.
Steve?
I know the Uniform Commercial Code.
Are
And
you-
then I said, you know how I can ruin my life? Is this on?
I can't believe you had a regular job. When
Beyond
see,
that, I
oh,
traded
that's why you-
stocks when I was 19, block trading. So what I'm trying to say is, I didn't, when I,
Oh.
what am I, with two black women on a porch? Is this the color purple?
having-
Oh, mama hot. Mama hot. Mama hot. What's going on here?
Carrie, are you warm too, Carrie?
I'm having a flash.
Oh, you are?
That old man river.
I'm having a hot
I'm doing
flash.
Paul Robeson. Those of you watching, it's now a Porgy and Bess. I'm tired of living. Fish gotta
I can't.
swim.
He should have had those shock
Birds
treatments.
gotta
Yeah, he needed the shock
He
fly.
needed the shock treatments.
Is it too late
Hit
to
me
sign
with the
him up?
phone.
We'll get him. We have two signatures right here to
Right.
get him in there.
Oh,
wow,
my
I
God.
can't believe you.
I
had a
don't think we
normal
even
job.
need the signatures. I think they
I'm
just have
nuts,
to watch.
But they're fanning
watch
themselves
the
with,
fucking-
with paper plates.
It's
I'm
hot
crazy,
here,
but they're
Steve, you
fanning themselves
fucking
with paper
asshole.
plates.
So hot in here. Holy shit. Okay, so
Now
wow,
it's
so
time for
that's
impressions.
what. So, wait a minute. So let's.
Hogan dismissed.
Should we switch topics and talk about comedy?
Well, no. Well, that's how I
Oh, yeah,
became
go
a
ahead.
comedian because I saw mental illness. My
Yes.
father died alone in a hotel room
What do you mean in a hotel room? Why
because
was he?
the lithium blew his inners out. He had a colostomy bag.
Why
didn't
wasn't
take
he at your house though?
My mother didn't want him there because she had the new guy with the money.
Get
Turning
the
into Don Rickles.
fuck. And this story is. I thought that she met the guy after your father died.
Well, let's tune back into
Wait
my
a minute.
life, everyone.
She kicked him
My
out
sister.
while he's dying.
Yes.
Your mother was.
That family's fucking heartless.
That is. Steve, how do you have such a big heart when your mother's
yeah,
bad?
but
with
your
the
mo-
money?
and did you expect your sister was going to share that money? When
I
she's-
didn't care.
When you came
He
from
doesn't
a
care
heart-
about
I didn't
money.
No,
care
I'm not
because-
saying about that. I'm saying, did you really think that your sister was going to give you any compassion to you when your mother was a compassionless bitch? Your fucking grandmother, your aunt killed your grandmother. I mean, how do you expect anybody to have compassion in
This
your
is
family?
like the Nuremberg trials, right? And it is with the. Unstanda, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler.
Down.
He said he didn't kill any Jews. That's what
what's
he said. He
happened?
said the Jews go. Yeah, you know, the German goes out on the debate. Heil Hitler. He said he.
It never happened.
It
Okay.
never
Never
happened. Thank you. Never happened.
Wait a minute.
So
I
that's how Don't Behave happened. I saved my life. I was
By not
on the
behaving.
road
Yeah.
to just getting this accounting degree, becoming a robot, buying into the whole sales pitch. You just marry somebody rich.
Right.
And then I was getting depressed and I was getting sick and I said, I'm getting my father's sickness and I'm going to be
What do you mean you're getting sick? You were feeling
I was
mentally
getting
ill?
very depressed in college. Very depressed. Very depressed. And
Are you depressed now, or that was just a thing?
no, now I only have low-level depression. It's like a speed bump.
Yes.
I swear to God. So that's what happened to me. So then I came out of college.
Because you're doing something you love.
Yes.
And when you say a speed bump, you mean it's a little thing, then you get over it? Or
Yeah,
what
because
happens?
what happened the first time I got the depression, I was like, uh-oh, I'm going to be locked up like Daddy. Then it went away after a couple of weeks. Then I got it again like a year later, and I was like, uh-oh. And then by the third time, I'm like, this fucking thing
goes
didn't
away.
kill me.
Yeah.
So then I realized if I don't exacerbate it
That's
and
right.
overreact,
Right. If you just
it
ride
stays
it out.
low.
Yeah.
So then I began doing things like having a little Red Bull in the morning because I wake up like they said Johnny Carson. They used to say he said he woke up hard. Like
What do you mean hard? With a
or
hard
his
on?
way- No, he doesn't get up right. Like, of course, my girlfriend or any girl I've ever dated, this is me waking up in the morning. I hit the snooze.
Oh, yeah,
snooze,
yeah.
snooze. This is my girlfriend waking up. Hey, what's up? Everything? Hey, how
That's
you
how-
doing?
yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, fucking, so.
That's how Kevin is. He's and then by 8 o'clock at night, he's ready to go to sleep. That's when I start
and that's when we turn
getting
it
up.
on.
That's when I start waking
But that's
up.
the trick to life. You wait to the 14th round. You just dance around for 13, 14 rounds. You're a fighter. You stay out of reach. You bob and weave. I learned that from my mother. My mother, when she would hit us, she would work the body. And
No,
then when the hands came down, she'd not. I didn't have a pediatrician. I had a cut man. I'm not kidding. And she would work the body, and then the hands came down. My mother tried to drown me once.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did. I was in the.
Wait,
I was
but
in the
Steve, please.
bathtub.
That is not true.
I was in the bathtub.
That is not true.
And we had the, I might have told you, the Mickey Mouse, the Donald Duck decanter, the Walt Disney bubble bath.
Yeah.
So my mother goes to answer the phone. She leaves like a 7-year-old
2-year-old.
kid alone in the tub. Yeah. I mean, I might have been 18. Who knows? Maybe I'm like. So that's me with a lollipop at 18 in the tub.
I didn't know what you were licking.
So it's not that. That would be more
So
like.
go ahead,
That'd be more
go
like
ahead,
this.
get to the
Carrie
story.
always wants you to get to the
Get to the
story.
story.
Carrie. Yeah.
It's called building. Now.
Go ahead.
All right, so my mother says, "Oh, it's Aunt Marilyn. You stay in the tub and drown, and I'll go speak to Aunt Marilyn." Well, I took the decanter. My mother would be on the phone like this. Hello, my mother used to be beating the shit out of
And
us,
then be so
and
fake
the
on
phone
the
would ring.
phone.
To, hello, oh no, oh what, no, hello, whatever. So now I'm in the tub with the Mickey Mouse decanter, and I felt like there was
I remember
a little.
the Mickey Mouse
Yeah,
decanter
so
for
I
the
poured
shampoo.
I poured all in the tub.
Oh, my God.
Figuring. And then my mother comes back in after an hour, and I go, "Look, Mommy, there's no more. We can get the Donald Duck. Oh, we're gonna get the Donald Duck."
No, she didn't.
Yes,
she put
she
your
did.
head under
yes,
the water.
she did. In the soapy water, she took
Carrie.
me by the hair.
Oh, my God.
I always said next week it was going to be me and my guide dog in the tub.
So what'd you do?
Oh, my God, this is
obviously
I
you did-
survived.
You did, obviously. You
I
held
learned
your
to
breath.
survive. What you
Oh,
learn to do.
my-
My mother was an alcoholic,
Oh,
which
she
the whole
was?
family denied.
Oh,
the whole
God.
family denied. Until my
Oh,
Uncle
that's-
Abe made a great joke. He said, when your mother was born, she drank. She was an alcoholic. They handed her, instead of a rattle, a rocks glass with ice in it, and she went like that.
Shake it.
He was so funny. At Passover, we were all making Holocaust jokes.
Well, you got it from him.
Yeah, Uncle
And my
Abe.
Aunt Marilyn.
I
my
love
Aunt
that
Marilyn.
his name is Abe. They're Abe and Marilyn.
He
That's-
didn't talk. He didn't, because these are real people. I
Yeah.
just went back to Brooklyn. Folks, there's plenty of people out there in radio and podcast land. There's plenty of people out there that do have families, that do have love, that do have emotion. But when you turn on TV, and I'm going to say it particularly comedians, you look at these comedians, they have no emotion, they have no passion.
You're talking
nothing
about the
to
new
say.
comics now, or what are you talking
Let's
about?
just leave it alone. I don't want to. There's some wonderful young comedians. There's some terrible older comedians. But
But you can't blame them. You got to blame the surroundings of today's world
Yes.
are of what.
But there's still people like us who
Because
emote.
we don't have, kids are latchkey kids now more so than before.
I was a latchkey.
I was a
I was
latchkey
too.
kid.
I was too.
Me
But
too.
what I'm saying to you is back now it's even more so, and it's like we didn't get bribed. We bribe our kids now. It's like not
Yeah,
bribe them,
yeah,
but we.
behave, or I'll take your.
No,
they-
not that.
Oh,
No,
not
I don't
that.
mean bribe. Wrong word.
Molest.
No, give them everything for our own
Touch them
guilt.
improperly.
For your own guilt.
Give them everything for your own guilt
Because,
because
yeah,
you're
if you're not-
working and
Right.
you can't
Well, that
be
is what
there.
hurt a lot. We
So
know that.
that's
Well, my mother
destroying-
went to work too, and
So
we
these
were
kids
left
feel
alone.
like they're entitled to everything.
Yes. Well, I was thinking about that today, and so I'm so you guys really can read. Look, I go on a lot of shows, but nobody lets me open up. I mean, I make a lot of jokes, But you got to know the flip side is all the stuff you're talking about. You know, a lot of kids, like I went for therapy. I don't even know if,
You did therapy when you as a kid?
no, as an adult.
Oh,
I went
how did
twice
it
for a
go?
year.
Twice.
Not well. It really didn't
Wait,
go
you
well.
went twice a week
I
for
went
a
a
year?
year with one therapist.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then I quit for a year, went back for a year with another therapist.
And were they men or women?
One was a woman and one was a man. But what I was leading to today, I don't even know if these kids go to therapy. I got a
no, I
a
think
sick
they
joke.
do.
They
I think
do.
they do.
They
They
do.
do.
Okay.
My kids have been to therapy, but their friends have been to therapy,
Okay.
so they do go to therapy.
Well, I hate to say this to people, but I tried therapy twice. And please, if you really need it, go. But
It didn't help you.
no, because
It depends on who you get. There are such
Yeah,
shitty
there
therapists.
are really bad therapists, but if you get a good one, you're lucky.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you get one that makes you take off your clothes,
Oh, yeah, that was mine.
and slaps you around,
then he gets lucky.
No, Patty
It was
went.
a woman.
Patty went to this woman that made her take off all her clothes,
And I said, I can't take off my
and the-
underpants
and
because I
the
got my
girl would
period.
slap her ass.
Yeah, she would and she put me over the horse in the. It was the.
You think you have problems?
Yeah, and
Steve?
she'd like hit me out with the tennis racket on my back to get
that
rid of.
true?
That
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah.
So, and then she would try and get me to have an orgasm on the bed by putting a pillow in between my. I mean, this is
And
like.
in what year, you're 9 or 10, did you realize this is not acceptable psychiatric At what point did you go, you know, maybe
This is
inserting
inappropriate.
a kosher hot dog into me?
Here's the
I never
problem.
saw this in any movie or read anything. You never read a book on Freud?
Here's the problem. When you have, like, I was depressed. I
Looking
was
for laughs.
suicidal. When you're suicidal, you're depressed or whatever you are, like I was.
see.
I was having a rough patch. You will do anything if you think, oh,
It'll
maybe
help me.
this is the thing that's going to
And they
fix
look
me.
for victims.
And they look for, they see a sucker walking in the door
Mm-hmm.
and they just take your money. And then all of a sudden you go, wow, this person is an evil piece of shit and I got to get out of here. But I had one very good therapist, one very good one, and then she quit. So, like, that was it. But out of all of them, they all sucked except
So-
for the one.
Okay, Ava Cohen says my mother tried to drown me too. Well, that is crazy.
I've heard a lot of stories like that. And, you know, there's a book called The Liars Club, and that's what that book is about. She finally remembers that her mother tried to get. I mean, there are mothers who just snap and they're trying to. They do shit.
Well,
to-
in
can't
fairness,
take it.
They
yeah,
can't
in fairness
take
to
it.
them too. But luckily, my sister was a lifeguard, so I.
Listen, I'll tell you what happened the other day. I'm in the car. My daughter's going through this major temper tantrum. She's like, shut up. So I'm like, all right. And she's like, you're not. I'm like, I think I'm cool. And she's like, you're not cool. And I'm filming her the whole time. Not filming her, but filming the situation.
Wait, this is your daughter?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm completely like blowing it off like it's hilarious to me. And it was getting her madder.
Oh, yeah.
And madder. And I was like, you can't, you know, what's that saying? You know, sticks and stones may break my bones.
Yeah.
But names never gonna. So I had that attitude with her the whole time. I go, listen, you love me. She's like, shut up. I don't. Yeah, shut. Like, it was so funny. And then she goes, you're probably gonna post this. And I'm like, probably. And I'll show you the video I made. And my friends are like, all the people on Facebook are like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one
I didn't see
that
it.
their kids talk like that too. And I'm
Oh,
like, no, you're not. But here's what you have to do. When your child does that, you get a camera or you go, and action. And the Academy Award goes to, you cannot take that temper
But
tantrum seriously.
maybe she just
You
wants something.
cannot
She
even-
wants attention. She wants to be loved.
No,
Why not
she
just
got
stop
pissed.
and-
She got pissed that we went to my son wanted to go to Chipotle, and I go to her.
I would get pissed too.
I go, you want to come in with us? No. And she had her phone, so I turned the car off. I went inside. He ate his food. We come in, and she was pissed because her phone died, and
She
she
couldn't
couldn't
plug it
charge
in.
it.
Oh, that's so funny.
And she's like, you left me in the car. I go, you had the option
Yes.
to come in and eat with us.
Was she locked in?
No.
So why didn't she just
She's
get out?
Fucking 12. You can't get out of a car. So she threw this shit fit in her head, and I was just like, not my problem. Not my problem. I was kind of antagonizing her.
Yeah.
Because when you're being an asshole to me, I can't take it serious. I got to be funny. So I could have backslapped her face and said,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
little
The
bitch.
problem, yeah.
You're talking to your mother, motherfucker.
See, the problem is
But
you
I
can't
didn't do that.
engage. I used
can't-
to.
I don't get I
I would
don't get my
engage.
blood pressure up. Not anymore. I used to. Not anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever. whatever. And that makes her more mad. Then she was crying when we got to karate.
Carrie's-
She was
Look at Steve. He's like,
She
this
was-
is worse than my child.
Look, she was crying when she got out to go to karate. I didn't do anything. And then she went into karate. My son was like, Mom, I'll see you later. I'm like, bye, I love you. He leaves. And when she got back home, she was fine.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to blow off steam.
So am I supposed to have a nervous breakdown and a heart attack because this little bitch?
No, but
had
aren't
her-
you supposed to
her
think since-
hormonal fucking?
That was the
She's
whole-
very.
it is hormonal.
Carrie is a master of body language because she knows somehow that by not facing me. See, I'm attracted to that. Any amount of rejection,
She had her shoulder facing
any amount
you.
of rejection.
I'm in the middle, so when you're talking, I got to be
I
this
know, I
way.
know.
or
I'm gonna
that.
tell-
Yeah.
Wait, can I just say something, Christy?
I love how tough she is, though. Can I say that? I am very attracted to that.
Oh,
I know
you
Michelle
like
is
tough-
listening.
You like tough guys?
No, I like it because you're strong, and I know underneath you have a big heart. You've said some of the nicest, kindest things. So that's a
I
nice.
do have a big heart. I do. That I
if
do.
it's deserving for someone. If
No,
you put it-
even if
yeah,
it's
you're
not,
very.
even
you
if
know.
it's not deserving.
I'm so glad Patty's
She's-
admitting what's happening. Do we have?
No,
Patty's
we-
been
just-
really
there's-
opening up.
This podcast, Chris D. Train Donovan says, this podcast has a history of mental illness.
It does, Chris.
And it says she threw a phone booth. Remember we were talking about
Oh, how dare
what
you
she
top
threw.
me!
I know, that was pretty funny. I'm
He's
sweating.
very funny. This
He's very
fucking
funny.
Donovan guy.
He's very, and he just
Donated.
donated. So thank you.
Thank you, Donovan.
Thanks, Donovan.
So, like, can I ask Donovan a question? Like we're funny and whatever, but what do you think of the podcast today? Is it a good balance?
You know what it is? People don't want to hear the truth.
What do you mean?
People try to escape their real lives,
Right.
and they don't want to hear the grim reality of
Yeah,
like depression and all that.
yeah, it's
but
very horrible.
depression is a very serious fucking thing.
That's about that guy who just killed himself. Did you know him? Did you
Very-
know that guy?
Yes, I did.
Brody, yeah. I
Yes,
know.
I
Brody
did.
Stevens.
And you know, I've been having
I don't know him. He played baseball, or was that
Yeah,
not
he
true?
He was such a nice guy.
He played,
So,
I never met him.
since
Why?
Robin Williams passed away.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I have wonderful conversations where I feel she's not listening to me or she's not listening to me in an emotional way.
Right.
And I do bring up suicide, and I try and point out
Are you threatening her with suicide?
I'm not threatening her with suicide.
Listen, if you don't blow me, I'm going to kill myself.
No, she loves blowing me. This is going to be the most unbelievable.
You're not going to
She
get a
loves
blowjob
blowing you. You
forever.
should marry her. Oh, actually, don't marry her because then it'll
Then
stop.
it'll stop.
Oh, ow. It was Freudian.
Hit you too.
I'm gender fluid.
So wait
Would
a
you
minute.
ever blow a guy?
No. Now let me, and can I give a really, thank you for asking me. No, she asked great.
Well,
it's
'cause
hot
you
here.
look
I'm
You're the best.
sweat-
No,
You
Is the
look
heat
like-
off, Adam? Is the heat
You
off?
you don't look like you would.
It's literal.
But the way
AC
you-
is literally
You're asking me if I would blow a guy, and these two are complaining about the weather.
No,
You know what
it's
I mean?
all right.
Like, this is a heavy duty, great question.
Would you ever?
No, and
Put
I
a gun
want to
to
give
your
you,
head.
I want to tell you why. And I've had opportunities.
What do they say? Would you blow me?
No, they hit on him.
One is, I think we all have an image of our masculinity, and I don't know if I could handle, there's nothing wrong with it, but my personal image of masculinity, I don't think I could blow someone. I just don't see myself that
I didn't
way.
ask that. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, now, could you let a guy blow you?
No, I don't think so for the same
I
reason.
don't know why men think getting blown is different than blowing. To me, there was this guy, and I didn't tell you this Russian guy at one of the clubs I worked at. He was one of the waiters, and he says, oh, yeah. He goes, oh, I'm not gay, but I did get a blowjob once from a guy on the street. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, he was a big Russian guy, one of these big, like, beaver hats on his head or
Right,
whatever.
right.
And he
Jewish.
goes,
I've seen him.
and he goes, hey, can I blow you? And I'm like, well, I was going home from work, and I'm like, I could use a blowjob, but we just went into this little doorway, and he goes, and it was very funny. He goes, because all he remembers is this big beaver hat going up and
Right,
down
right.
and up and down while he's blowing me. And I go, so what are you telling me? You're not gay, and some guy's
Maybe
blowing
he
you
just
on the
said
street?
he was davening.
What's a davening?
Davening is what Jewish people do. They really go up and down like this. They broke up. No, I didn't notice the cock. I thought that was the Torah.
But to me, come on, you're not gay
No,
if the guy's
you know-
blowing you in the middle of the street?
Dice Clay said it best. Either you suck dick or you don't suck dick.
Well,
Oh!
but I'm not an alpha male, and I want to. I do want to be so clear about this. Whatever you preference, that's fine. You know, I've been in some pretty crazy sexual situations.
What does that mean?
I
Oh,
don't
you've
know
done
that.
threesomes, foursomes,
He goes like
fivesomes?
this to me. You know, I've been. No, I don't know.
Tell us
Steve.
about
Tell
them.
us.
Tell us about them. You've been
Well,
in
I've been in some.
Orgies.
group sex.
Yes, I told you. Didn't I tell you the
No,
orgy
are you,
story?
why the fuck are you holding out on us? This is our second
I'm holding
time.
out.
Second time
My
you're on.
father's electrocuted. I'm drowned in a bathtub. Why are you How dare you? When you come to this show, withhold.
Your mother.
Patty,
Your mother
Patty
is
hates
drowning
when you hold out on sex stories because Patty loves a good
I
sex
love
story.
sex stories. Get out of here. So,
So I'm
give
at
me
an
some good
orgy.
sex stories.
And I reached to touch
Wait a minute.
this.
How were you invited to the orgy? That's what I
Well, we
wanna-
all knew that's what it was going to be.
Who's
so in other
we?
words, there was a group of people, and they said we're going to get together.
Comedians.
No, I don't like to have sex with comedians. And you
Okay.
know that. You know I've never had sex with. I adore both of you. You're both attractive. You're smart. You're both my type. Sorry, Michelle, but they are, and so are you. But I don't
Shit
like
where
to
you eat.
fool around with comedians.
Yes.
I don't like that. And so a group of us said we're going to do this. You know, we're going to have a group situation. And we had our clothes off and everything. And I went to touch the breast of a young lady, and she slaps it away violently.
Is
And
she
I go,
naked?
Yeah, and I go, I thought this was an orgy.
Well, what do you have to say?
Well,
May
I'm
I?
not here for you. I want that guy.
Yeah, what the fuck? What did you say?
Because it's not like what you think it's like. There's when
like
we were-
everybody dives in,
I had,
right?
it's
what
not.
happened?
That's what I want to get to. This is
So
what.
what
Can I
happened?
say this? This is
What'd
what.
she say? She's
This
not-
is what troubles me with people that mistake my humor for dirty or vulgar versus what other comedians are doing. In 1996, 97, I
are you
started
doing to your
talking
eyes?
because I have to go inner my inner
Oh, okay.
my inner self. I had.
Covering his eyes. It's very.
I started talking about. Where's the camera?
They can see. They can see you without leaning in. It's
No, I wanted them to get the left eye. That's when I really give like the.
Go ahead. She's funny. Go.
So she is. So I started telling these. I got divorced.
You know what I like about you, Steve? You never have to come in with questions when Steve's on the show. Like, I'm never racking my brains. It's like, okay, I'll ask him about his aunt, and then
And
he'll
then
talk the
that's it.
rest of the fucking
Because first of all, like I say, I don't do an act anymore. If you have a life, a real life, you're honest.
Yeah.
You know, don't go to classes on comedy and talk about being honest and then contrive jokes that never happened.
Right.
So what happened was I was doing contrived jokes, and I was a pretty funny guy, and then I got divorced and got my heart broken, and I started dating a younger girl, and I got exposed to a lot of young things. Then I went on stage, and I talked about my heart being broken in real sexual situations. Some people thought it was vulgar. Now, 20 years later, everybody does it,
Right.
whether it happened or not.
Right.
So, but the reality is, when you're in these group sexual situations, there's still a hierarchy because elitism is such a big thing of our country that, let's say we
There's
go in
a
as a couple.
hierarchy of who's fucking who?
That's correct. You go in as a couple.
Yes.
And the other couples look at you like, are they pretty? Are they good enough? Are they
Right,
this
right,
enough? Are they
right.
this enough? So it's literally the elitism carries over even to an orgy situation. So you think when you go to an orgy, the door opens and you're all just jump on each
That's
other
right.
like Bugs Bunny.
But
Dog
that
pile on the
happened?
rabbit.
So what happened?
Dog pile on the rabbit. So
So
what
you
happens?
didn't get laid, or you did?
Oh, I got laid.
By who? The girl you went with, or by the other girl?
No, that
Probably
girl
by,
slapped his
by
hand.
both.
But how'd you get past the hand slap?
Well, I moved on to another girl who was not hand slapping. But what I'm saying
Well,
is,
how do you know? You
Because
give
you're
her
a
a wink.
good-looking guy. I don't see why she slapped your hand.
well, but you know what? Everybody has a reason. Maybe she thought I wasn't alpha male enough.
Maybe you
she
didn't
thought
have a big enough dick for her.
Are you all buck naked when you go in? You all
First of all, let's take a pause on that. We started with performance anxiety. Now I don't have a big. Let me come
No,
to
for
dick
her.
size.
For her.
For her. Look, I always tell people I don't have an enormous penis.
Yes. You
but
always
I have
tell
I
people
have
this?
a very nice sized penis. I have good girth, and you could do every position with me comfortably.
You don't need a gigantic one.
Nobody wants a gigantic one.
No, there are
Except
women
the
that want it.
Kardashians.
No, there are women just like men who want
Size queens.
want big breasts. Now maybe they feel that
Somebody wrote a bunch of orgy snobs.
it is. There are orgy snobs. There definitely are because
Dan
elitism.
Garin.
Everybody wants to feel better than somebody. So whatever. And also, I was never every woman's cup of tea, and I knew that. I see comedians, I see guys, and they walk around like, yeah, I wouldn't fuck her. Yeah, I wouldn't fuck her. They're so fucking cocky, men. Like, never thought of myself as. I was just so happy to get laid. I didn't get laid till I was 20. I was Jewish.
Hold
I
on.
was an accounting major.
But I got to get back to this. Okay, so you're with these bunch of people.
Yeah.
One person says, "Let's all go fuck each other and let's get a hotel room," or where do you all
yeah,
go?
yeah.
Where
It
do
could
you
be
go
like
to
that. Yeah, you could go to a hotel room.
Well,
or
where
you
did
go
you
to
guys
somebody's
go?
house. So
What'd
you
you
went
do?
to a hotel room.
And
all right.
somebody who pays with the orgy, you all chip
How
in?
many people?
Who pays? I want to know.
About eight
Phase.
people.
8 people in
Yeah.
one hotel room.
Yeah.
All the guys paid.
$20 each.
No,
Yeah.
it's more, probably more than that. Whatever it is.
Really?
Whatever it is. Oh no, I think this one was actually hosted by someone. Was hosted.
And you
by
have to
someone.
pay to get in?
No, I didn't. No.
No, it was hosted by someone. Patty, that means he paid.
Oh,
Right,
really?
right. So it was hosted, but what happened? I was talking about this with somebody.
You didn't get jealous that somebody was banging your girl?
And was
No, because
She wasn't your real girl.
no, that's not why. No, because I have so many more attachments, not just sexual, emotional, and sense of humor and caring. There's so many things that go into loving
Okay, so you don't
loving
care.
someone, and also it would be different if you're going with someone who's like. The whole ride there, she go, I can't wait to get rid of you, and you're in love with them. That would be a problem.
Were you in love with this girl?
Can't wait to get in there and get laid.
Right.
By a real man. Did you? So, were you in love with this girl?
Yes, yes. The first time it happened, I was very nervous because I said I thought we're in love. How could we be doing this?
It was her idea,
so
I guess.
it was her idea. But here's what it did do.
Wow.
Here's what it did do, and I want to say this. So my original comedy was just silly jokes. I had a lot of really silly jokes.
Right.
And then like jokes like my bar mitzvah, my rabbi said, "Today you are a man, and take off that dress, you idiot." They were all silly jokes.
I like
that
that joke.
Yeah,
Will
they
you
were.
stop
I'm
being
half
such a-
Indian, half Jewish. I'm Suish.
I like
My
it.
father was a schmohawk. So now I have very, very silly jokes.
I like it.
So now, and I still like silliness, but so now, standing in front of people, to all of us that do that as comedians or singers, it's a voyeuristic thing. It's an exhibitionistic thing. And then going in these different sexual situations actually opened me up. I think it actually helped me relax about myself, and it helped me accept myself. I don't think I'm God's gift looks-wise or body-wise. I remember my cousin Howard's so funny. He's like 6'4", 240. I'm taking a million pictures of him. He writes
Naked?
me no. He writes.
Oh, I thought he was at the.
He's right. No. He's writing. I know I go on tangents, but then I tied it. He
Okay.
writes me in a text, "Hey, dude, stop taking so many photographs of me. I have body shaming issues." What cousin, 55-year-old, writes that to you? So I guess it helped me with that. Whatever. Like I always said to women like me because in a relationship, I want to be the skinny one. I like women that have.
A little
I don't
more,
like
a little meat.
I like women that are a little more voluptuous.
Say hi to Adam. He says
And
the
it's great
same
if you
shit.
like skinny.
Say hello to Adam.
Adam
Henniker.
loves a
I
lump
like
and a bump.
some meat on their bones.
Because I always felt that sometimes I know men, not all men, but I know men that they're always rating women 1 through 10, and you got to watch out for this type of guy. They always want a 9 or a 10, and they always want a super skinny girl. And there's a lot of men that like flat chest, and I think what they really want is a guy.
A guy.
Hey, what are you trying to say about any guy who's ever liked me?
Patty.
Wait a minute.
Everybody, first of all, I'm sitting with two. Now I could say it on behalf. These two young ladies. Everybody thinks they're sexy. Everybody thinks they're hot.
Used to.
No, that's not true. You know what I mean? You guys, the two of you never had any problem with
right.
sexiness.
It's used to.
It's used to. Hey,
No,
let
it's
me.
not.
So let me ask you. So you go to the hotel, somebody else pays.
Mm-hmm.
You go in, then what happens? They give you drinks, or you go.
No. Maybe somebody brings some drinks and stuff.
And
but
you
that's
still
not-
have your. When do you take the clothes off?
Well,
like
eventually. Well, that's the part that always drove me crazy with
like
everything.
people are sitting around waiting.
Well,
to
I'm
take
an
the-
action guy, and everything
Like,
I do.
that's
When I go
the-
to play basketball,
You're
I
like
hate
a nervous
when
wreck.
Yeah, you want to get going.
I go to play. When I go to, I still, I'm a kung fu person, and when I go,
Oh, somebody asked that too. They said,
Kung fu?
Steve, are you still into doing martial arts?
heavily into doing, and we're going to tie it into this, heavily into, now I've moved more into Tai Chi to try and develop the inner power and to also doing my comedy to not think about results. In other words, don't think about the punchline. Very often in Tai Chi, the chi comes out, they said, when you don't think about it. They say chi is like a woman. If you look for her, she'll run away. So there's an internal power. So I'm very much into it. I want to go back to Mendez. I spar with boxers and I wrestle and do all that stuff.
Is that why your nose is like?
What?
I think he's a nice nose.
Thank
She's
you.
busting your balls.
This is not a nose you
Yes,
want to
you said
fight
you
with. This is a
spar.
very
You
breakable.
spar.
Yeah, this is a very breakable.
You
nose.
have a good body. You're like the body of a 20-year-old. You're very skinny. You
I
got
think it's the
muscles.
kung fu. I think it's.
Oh, look, his arms are
his
cut.
arms
I
are
have
all
vascularity. Yeah, I have the vascularity.
Vascular. Is that what it is
I
when
think
you
they
have?
call it something
know
like
what?
that. I'm
My
a phlebotomist.
father-
I'm a phlebotomist desire a
My
vampire.
father had arms like that when he was 80. When he was dying, he had these big arms.
Very strong from all those
Very
years
strong.
of working his whole life. So wait a minute. So you go in. Who says take your clothes off? I'm
Well,
trying
you
to get
don't,
to
and
the-
that's no.
The
You're very good.
ringleader.
So what happens is no, there really isn't a ring. What happens is normally what happens is the women start off. It's about an hour of this. I love that outfit. I love that outfit. I love that outfit.
And
every,
then-
and every guy is like this. You know, when am I going to get blown?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that outfit. I love that outfit.
And then-
there's a lot of social stuff that goes on.
It's like foreplay.
And this is what I try and do in my comedy is show you the reality, even though I use stereotypes to get some stupid laughs. But I try and expose you to the reality is people are normal. They're no different than anybody. They don't just jump on top of each other. If they don't like somebody, some couples would go home without even having sex
oh, they
if they
would be
weren't in
there,
the
and then they just go. I
yeah,
don't
they
think
just
so.
I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood or
They see
whatever.
everyone
Or how about
naked.
this? How about some people just go and enjoy the conversation? It's
Who would do that? That's weird. Go have conversation.
But it's true.
Go have
That's
so
conversation where people are
strange.
blowing each other.
Let me ask you a question.
yeah.
Please.
When that girl ended the relationship, or you ended the
yeah.
relationship with that girl, this new girl,
Yes.
Michelle, right?
Oh, this girl was a long time.
No,
ago.
but this girl, Michelle.
Yes,
your
Michelle,
girl
right,
now.
Right.
Is she into?
No. We're very.
That's why you're
very-
with her. You're not going to stay with a girl who wants to blow a bunch of other guys. Let's be honest.
I want to again.
I mean, would you?
I want to again tell
Let's
you.
be honest.
I mean,
You
I
don't
want to
want a
again tell
Hoover.
you. And Ted Bundy didn't look like the type of guy that would kill anyone. So my point is,
I love Ted Bundy
don't be
references.
discriminating because there are people that are polyamorous and there are people that love the person they're with, that even if she blows or even if he.
Oh no, we had a
Uh,
polyamorous girl.
So I want to be. I think we need to know the reality is this is such a hard concept for people to get. If it works for you, it works for you.
No, I understand.
I am a
that.
very
But it worked
open-minded
for you
guy.
at one point. Now you don't miss it.
No. Well, you know what? I think you can. I think you always miss getting blown by 3 people at one time. I don't think you ever don't miss that. And the way.
Look at Adam.
And I think.
Adam, could you?
It never
do-
goes away.
Could you do?
I
have
hope you guys
done
have
an
a
orgy?
sofa bed because Michelle is listening.
Yeah,
Adam's
I mean,
probably
I've
done
I've
group
done
shit.
group
Like
sex,
no
yeah.
group sex with guys in there too.
Yeah.
And what do you do with the guy? You just like you do shit with him too?
Do you guys like
No.
high? Do you guys like
you
high
do air
five?
pistols at each other. You go.
Do you high
Good
five
work.
each other when the girls
Nice.
aren't looking?
You do air pistols.
Yeah, you go. Hey, look at you.
No, but what if the guy comes up and he starts like pushing his
You say, "Get
wiener
away."
on you?
No,
Say,
the
"Get
only
away."
the only times that I've been involved with group sex have been good friends of mine, like guys that I actually hang out with.
And then what do the
Right,
guys
so you're
do?
banging 3 girls from college.
Yeah.
And then the guy, what do you take turn? And then you look at the guy, and I don't understand.
You're
Have you ever
pretty-
banged? Have you ever banged one girl, like 3 guys?
No,
one
I've
girl?
never done that. I've never
but
done.
but then you talk. The guys talk to each other while this is happening.
okay,
I don't even
you're
understand
you're
this.
like fucking 2 people. Like there's 2 naked women that you could do whatever you
Nobody's
want with.
talking,
Nobody's.
Patty.
You're not focused on like.
Well, that's
"Ugh,
another
he
mistake.
looked
There are
at me
people
weird."
talking.
There are?
Yeah, that's all right. But sometimes what happens is you're trying to have sex and other couples are giggling.
Why are
People
they
so-
giggling?
because people are
Yeah.
so nervous by the situation, and you're trying to have sex, and you're because people are so nervous in that situation. And that's how it helped me. It helped me gain more confidence about my body and myself. And if I never do it again, it's fine. You know what I mean?
But then okay, so what if everyone wants the one girl, and the girl you brought's a little uglier than the other girl? Now what? Now they're all going for
There's
the cute
another.
one?
Here's a good. That's a great question. Now I know.
There's got to be
women-
one
I
good-looking
know-
one there.
Right.
I think what you will find out, and the beautiful thing, there are women and men that are not considered by society standards thin or good looking, and they're having wonderful sex. And I think it helps that type of person too, because they leave going, wow, this phony society that says I have to be a size 1 or a size 3.
Any sex club I've ever gone into, it's all fat fucks.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's not attractive people.
And it's
Now,
like, oh,
Hasidic Jews walking around jerking off behind you. It's really gross. It's
Oh, you
just.
went to the vault.
I did. I went to the fire. You know what? I used to bartend across
Where?
the street at the Gaslight, and across the street was a club called
Right.
the
I went
Hellfire.
to see you at the gas.
Yes. So across
What's
the
the
street.
Gaslight, a comedy club?
No, it was a bar,
bartender.
and I used to
Oh.
be a bartender.
Oh.
Right across the street was the Hellfire. It was called Hellfire, and you'd go down the stairs. This is when 14th Street and 9th Avenue was all drag queens, and
Oh,
it
yeah,
was like
yeah, yeah.
a seedy place.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
now. Now it's beautiful, the meat
Right.
market, meat packing district.
Right.
Right.
So the bouncers used to drink.
Yeah, yeah.
And they used to go, you got to come check this out. You got to, and I was like, nah. And then my boyfriend at the time goes, can't we just go one time? So we ended up one night after 4 o'clock in the morning. We ended up going there, and it was the most disgusting
Yeah.
fucking environment. And I had this Hasidic Jew behind me with the curls,
Yeah.
jerking off. I go, I'm gonna punch him right in his
How
fucking
close
face.
was he to you?
Right behind me.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I'm gonna punch him in his fucking
But
face.
you have all your
I'm
clothes
gonna pull
on.
those curls right out of his fucking head. And how about that? I have all my clothes on. I'm walking as fast as I can away from this
I'm
fucking
glad to
freak.
see anti-Semitism and white nationalist is nothing in this country. Well, look, let's also say this. In all fairness, too, that's one night you went to one place, and it might not have been your scene.
Wasn't my scene ever. So then we come around the corner, and then there's this big girl. She must have been about 350 pounds. They had her in a harness.
Oh no! Don't even tell me this.
And
This
her
is
legs
hard.
were spread.
Okay,
and some
stop.
guy was like slapping her, and they were doing whatever they were doing to her.
no.
And I looked at my boyfriend. I go, "Is this what you really wanted to see?"
What did he say?
Because
Let's
I want to leave.
No, but at least it's exciting. It's different. Like, I had a young lady. At least it's interesting. At least it's not like boring. I got to go out to dinner with people. I went to Bed Bath and Beyond. I'd rather see some fat girl
But
in a
it- but
harness
I
than
wouldn't.
hear about your matching
I want
washcloths
to see
and towels.
where's the hot guy that's got the 6-pack abs.
All
That's
right,
what
but then
I
you're
wanted to
entitled
see.
to that, but maybe
No,
that's
I
your-
understand,
you're
but that's
visual.
what
You're
was
very
my
visual,
visual.
right?
Not a Hasidim behind me, like
Stop
jerking
saying
off.
Hasidim.
But
Wait a
that's
minute.
what he was. And there was a lot of weird guys like that. They looked like businessmen. There was a lot of weird men there.
Right. Dan Guerin
It-
says orgies are like buffets, not the best food, but all you can eat.
Right, that's true. Well, there was. So I was taken to a
Yes.
place. I was taken to an S&M club, and try and get away from the sex when I'm telling all the stories I tell. Really, the sex is the lead, but try and get the subtext. It's really about elitism, where I find it everywhere. I go to an S&M club with a young lady,
Yeah.
and they're all saying hello to each other, but they don't want to talk
Wait,
to
you
me
go to an
'cause-
S&M club?
with a young lady. She wanted to go
That's
to
a
an S&M club.
Do you like?
Massacre.
I know. Do you like S&M?
No. So when I went in, everybody's
going
giving me
there?
because she wanted to go. So everybody's giving me the cold shoulder because they don't know me.
Right.
So
They wanted to beat the shit out of you.
so no, but this elitism, whether you're in a country club or you're at a
Right, it's
S&M
everywhere.
club, it's
Right.
everywhere. People discriminate. So we go in the club,
Yeah.
and people are just spanking whatever. And
Hold on a second. Do you think that
People are spanking.
that's real,
whatever.
or do you think that that's how you feel in your head,
could be both.
and you're really making this
Could
up?
be
Because a
paranoid.
lot of people will say to me, "I thought you fucking hated me. You were such
Right.
a bitch," and I'm like, "I would never ever gave that.
Right.
Maybe you thought that, but
Well, Carrie,
I never-
once again, I adore you because you're a psychological chess master. You're correct on both. I agree. I do. Notice I don't fight. I'm not I agree. Now we move into the club, and she says to me,
Your
Well,
girlfriend.
no, this is not just a girl I was
Oh,
going on a
oh,
date
oh,
with, who
okay.
I knew, and she says, well, we just can't stand around here. So I go, what should we do? And she goes over to one of these spanking, whatever
Areas.
horses.
Station.
No, there's a horses station.
A
The
horse.
spanking station.
It's a
Spanking
horse or
station.
something like
Adam
that.
knows. He's been there.
Yeah, it's
Sure,
a
sure,
spanking
sure.
station. And she leans over it, and she takes down her pants, and she says, I swear to God, she says, spank me. So, me, I'm like,
Okay.
so I start spanking her. I'm not really into it. I'm not enthusiastic about it. I go, I'm trying to blend in.
I don't. Is there a phone?
I'm trying to blend in, but it's not working.
Steve's like, I can't just. Does anyone have a phone I can borrow?
Can I hit this bitch in the head? Look at
That is so funny.
So
Oh,
go
no,
ahead.
maybe.
Carrie.
Oh, so don't worry, things are gonna
Oh,
fall.
Carrie.
So now I'm spanky. I'm not enthusiastic. I don't feel I'm blending in, and people are like being tied to wheels and things. And I used to have
Oh,
this
my
old joke where I said I answered an ad into S&M. A woman wants to be tied up naked and punish. So I take over her clothes, I tie her up, I spank her. After a half hour, I said, don't you want to have sex? She goes, oh, I don't want to have sex. I go, who's being punished, me or you? So you don't even sometimes have an orgasm at an S&M club.
Yeah, it's
They just
not
wanna
even
get-
sex.
There's no
They just wanna
release.
get
But
slapped
it
around.
is to them.
Frank D'Amico
It's
used to do a
psychological.
joke. I'm into S&M spaghetti and meatballs.
Right. Annie Berman, too. May she rest in peace.
Who's Annie?
Was like an 80-year-old comedian in the 80s who used to
Annie
work at
Berman.
Bloomingdale's in the sheet department, and she was really funny. She would come up and
Was
take
she
the,
a comic?
yeah, and she would take the microphone from me, knock it off, Sonny. And she used to say, at my age, S&M is soup and matzo balls. And me and John DeResta
Oh, John
were driving
DeResta.
Annie to a gig once, and another guy got mad. Why did you take Annie Berman? She's an 85-year-old comedian. She's going nowhere. You should take me. That's how nasty comedians can be.
Yeah.
And John was such a great guy. He said, fuck her. We took Annie Berman, and John made a joke, and Annie Berman just goes like that. Oh, DeResta. She calls him with the last name. She was like a tough Jewish man. DeResta. That's a double entendre. She meant double entendre. So then he said something else, and John DeResta said, double entendre. The memories, so many. They're all coming
Who'd
on
you
this
work?
show.
Wait, first of all, how long have we been? Because before we ask,
Yeah, we actually do have to wrap up.
Have to wrap
we're at
up?
about hour.
Oh, this is like therapy. Can I tell you, this is like therapy. So
Right.
in therapy, you never
Like an
start
hour
off.
15.
This is like
we're
therapy.
already at an hour 15.
Right, listen, you never in therapy begin with the good stuff or because the therapist won't listen to you. So I always was like boring. Then 2 minutes before therapy would end, I'd see the clock ticking to where it was, and then a
Right.
minute, 30 seconds, I go, oh, by the way, when I was 4, my father peed on me. And the therapist, well, wait, I want to hear more. See you next week. You always
You
want
always
to close
leave-
with
that's
something
right.
that leave them wanting
Even
more.
wanting more, even in therapy.
Exactly. That is so funny what you said about the S&M getting hit with a phone.
I can't get into this. Does anyone have a phone?
And what about group sex? It's a party line. That's an old
all right,
Jordan.
let me get to these people because they're asking me about
Thank you
They
so
go,
much for calling in.
Victoria Tusi.
Oh, yeah, I know
Yes,
Victoria.
Steve, yep.
Sure.
Right? She says, ask Steve if he remembers me.
She-
Of course
you
I
coached
remember
her,
you.
I think,
I
right?
coach
MJ
you and-
Holiday is
and-
on.
Yeah.
He could probably relate to an orgy.
Right.
Who else? Whatever.
Victoria and her husband are marathon runners. And by the way, Victoria, I just want to let you know, not only did you make a big impression, but I adore your husband, and they're very devoted marathon runners. Who else is on?
Somebody said Lori, I think it says. She says, Steve, I don't want to know too much about my sister. I agree. And that's pretty much it.
Dan
That's all we
goes-
got.
Dan says, I only go to the orgies for the articles. Dan Karen. That's fucking funny.
So
So wrap it up.
so this is what
Give us a good wrap up.
well, a good wrap up is this is just, I think, when you come see me, it's not so much jokes, it's reality. And the ending of every reality is that as long as nobody's getting hurt, don't behave and be yourself. Don't look at commercials that say be different and be unique and then hate on the people that are different and,
And I
unique.
do want to say you are very, very funny. And I do want to say one
Very
thing. You'll
funny.
never know what could come out of this guy's mouth.
It's a different show every time.
Yes.
Because he's just playing off
the
of-
moment.
He's in the moment. He jumps off the cliff, right?
Yeah, I take big risks.
Takes
Sometimes
big
people get very
risks.
angry at me. You've seen it.
Yeah, people.
I've walked people from, entire
but
rooms
that
have
is
walked out.
That is the funniest thing, though, is that you don't give a fuck.
Because to me, with
You
my
just-
my
yeah.
aunt and uncle making the Holocaust jokes at Passover, when my uncle said about Hitler, anyone who doesn't like Jews can't be all bad. He didn't mean it. It's the risk. The joke is not funny to me
That's
if
right.
somebody can't, if there's no danger to it. When you watch boxing is not exciting if somebody can't get knocked out. When you go to the circus, you don't go, oh, look how wonderful the person, look at the skills to stand a tightrope. You're sitting there going, if this person falls and breaks their neck, we really got our money's worth. It's the danger that I want them to see. And somebody very nicely just called me the Jewish Robin Williams, which I thought
Oh, that's
was
good.
such
That
a nice
is
thing. I'm
good.
nowhere near.
Wasn't Robin Williams Jewish?
No, but
That-
people thought he was because he would throw a lot of Jewish
Oh,
words
I thought he
in.
was Jewish.
But he came from Marin County and up there. But it's such a compliment. And he also had a suicidal situation. So be good
Here's
to your
what I
comedians.
want to say about you is that, fuck, it just escaped my brain. Jesus.
You know what that's like?
hold
That's-
on.
You have the whole key. I have the answer to what's going to cure everything. So I can't remember it.
No,
Remember
what
Steve
I
Martin?
want to say is I like the don't give a fuck because I don't give a fuck at this point in my career. That I say
Yeah, we
whatever-
talked about that
I
the
say
last
whatever
time.
I want, And you know what? Whoever's gonna like you is gonna like you. Anyone else is uptight. For it. Life is too fucking short to be sitting here going, "Did she say fuck?"
And we're not hurting
know
anyone.
what?
The three
Come
of
on.
us are not your
You
problem.
can't take life
The three of us
that
don't hurt anyone. Patty
seriously.
is the same way. What she does on stage and talks about,
She's a wrecking
she jumps
ball.
off the cliff also.
I had this one woman walk out and I said, "Who else wants to go?" Because she fucking stands up, has to make a big deal because
Right.
it's some joke about that fucking wasn't even offensive. And I'm like, who else wants to go? Get out now so we
Right.
can have fun. All you people who are going to be offended and upset, get the fuck out. Because now we're going to have some fun. You know
Right.
what I mean?
And everybody left, and it was you and the club owner.
You know, that happened to me at Dangerfields. So I come out.
I was there.
I come
I
out.
was there that night.
Were you there that
The
night?
What
you
happened?
walked the whole room.
The whole room, like about 180
Wait, what did you
people.
say to walk the whole room?
My opening line was not even hello. I just went, I shot a load in my fish tank. And within 10 minutes, you saw 180 people. They didn't walk out at once. They did it slowly, so it made me
They were
really
getting up
think
and,
about
like,
it.
He's like, "Wow, everybody's got to pee at once."
Well, you know what,
And
though?
then he's going, "Well, you know, it humbles you." I'm like,
But you know what
"Yeah."
happened? Then there were 40 left, and I asked them to move up front, and I did another hour. That's the story where I went to Tony, the owner at Dangerfields. I said, I better tell Tony I walked 180 people. Because when the
He
fellow...
was there.
Because when my fellow comedians tell him,
No, but
they're going to
he
really
wa-
make it
no,
bad.
Tony stands in the back of the room and watches.
He
Listen,
loves it.
Tony doesn't care because he loves
He
you.
doesn't
He's been
care.
using you for fucking
He loves
30
me because he
years.
thinks I'm funny. So
You
I
are.
Yeah,
listen
but
what
you
happened.
are.
You're really
I go
funny.
to Tony and I go, Tony, I just want to let you know I walked 180 people tonight. He thought I was bragging.
Listen to me.
And he go, wait, and he goes like this. Oh, that's nothing. When Sam Kinison was here, he walked the entire room.
Listen to me. If you're gonna walk them, walk the whole fucking
Right.
room.
That's
but I
right.
never do it out of
Do it
meanness.
big.
Let me just say this. The three of us don't do it out of meanness. You've never seen me maliciously keep... I've seen-
Attack one person.
Yes, and I see comedians, they'll keep going at a person, the person's uncomfortable,
I
and
never
they
do
keep
that.
going at them. Once in a while, I do make a slip. Ah, man, it happens. You know what happens sometimes? I'm talking and talking, and then I'll say something like, listen, you two lesbians. And then one night what happened is something got in my throat, and I went to swallow. You two lesbians, the whole room walks out. I didn't get to say the next part, which is, that's fine with me. I wish the fucking heterosexual. But if you don't
Wait,
keep
Steve, I did a show with Carrie. First of all, I had to follow Carrie, which no one can do because she just fucking kills. So I'm following. I opened the show and I'm saying, right, guys, to these two guys in the front. Did I tell this? He goes,
I
I'm
was
not
there.
a guy. And I go, oh, okay. I go, I guess it's a
It was
haircut.
lesbians, all
I,
lesbians.
And then I
And
go,
she
well,
goes to
I
this
guess
one.
it's a haircut. Don't lose that.
that's what I said. I
guess
guess
it's a haircut.
And I go to the next one. I go, but you know what I mean, sir.
Sir,
She goes, I'm
I'm
not
a-
a sir either.
either.
I go,
Oh,
what the
my
fuck's
God. I
going on?
was dying in the
Every
back.
person in the front row
I
was a
was there.
lesbian who literally
She-
looked like a guy. I
She
couldn't help it.
dug the hole
I dug the
deeper.
hole.
Yeah, but they
So
don't
deep.
tell you. I did a one-man show called Nobody Told Me. You think they might tell you before you go out there. The whole room are lesbians.
The woman who ran the show, I go to her, are there any guys down front? Because I need guys for a couple of these shows.
Right.
She goes, yeah, there's a bunch of them right down front. She was a lesbian and didn't know that they were gay guys, that they were women down front. So I'm going out thinking, okay, the guys are down front.
Right.
But anyway,
They
they
should
were
tell you.
lesbian.
Yeah, but they fucking loved you after you dug yourself out of that.
No, it was fair. And then I had to keep making callbacks to it.
Anyway,
Anyway.
we got to wrap this
All
up.
right,
Oh, I
yes.
love
So
you
let's
guys
thank
so
you,
much.
Chris Donovan, for the.
Oh, yeah, let's see. We had
and
a couple-
MW Holiday, who we're going to be on
Mark
his show.
and Jay, we're going to be on their show tomorrow night.
What's the name of the
Wednesday
show
at
again?
6:30. My Worst Holiday. We're
My
doing,
Worst Holiday.
And we also want to thank you because they just donated to
They
our
did
Patreon.
donate.
Thank
So
you.
thank you.
Thank you for that $1.
And D-Train, no, he did actually gave
I
more
know
than
he
that.
gave a lot more.
D-Train, Chris Donovan gave to us. Thank you, Chris. And Jordan Campbell upped his money. So thank you,
Jordan
Thank you,
Campbell,
Jordan.
you're a doll.
And we want
We will get some T-shirts as soon as our money reaches $200.
Patreon.
Which is Patreon, I believe.
Yes, patreon.com/2TWO Tired Twats. If you want to donate, we are here live
Every week.
Every week, live at the comic strip. Thank you.
Jeannie and Richie, thank you. Adam Hineker, come
our
down,
sound
like us on YouTube,
Thank you
producer.
for participating,
like us on
Adam, also.
Facebook,
Yeah.
like us on everything,
I
iTunes.
give
Leave
my
a review.
websites?
Let us know what you think.
Please give us
Okay, so I really want to hear the feedback. It's so important to me. That's why I can't do necrophilia, because I need feedback. I can't have a dead body. And
he needs
so
the love. Please tell
I do
Steve
want to be loved
you
so
love
badly.
him.
You can't fuck a dead body?
No,
All right.
you know.
He's got boundaries.
Carrie's husband.
So
Does when you're sleeping.
Twitter, my Twitter is at Behave, DONTBEHAVE. Please write
No
me at Twitter.
apostrophe.
Right. Please write me on Instagram at BCalm, Don't Behave. Believe it or not, I had that before BCalm. Everything came BECALM. Don't behave. And don't behave means don't behave like anyone but yourself. And my website is stevemarshallcomedy.com. It has my schedule. But please,
I think
can
you
we
have to
get
do
some
public
feedback?
Speaking. Public speaking. For
I
you.
did a lot of yeah.
I see you at
I
the-
want people to feel good
Some
about
girl
themselves.
said you taught her back in 2012.
Yeah, Victoria, and she's a very nice, very good people.
And
But you
now
know
she's
I
a
coached
secretary.
You know I coached John DeResta, Tommy
Yes,
Savage,
of course,
Lisa
I know.
Lampanelli.
I know a lot of people.
You know what I mean?
Taught.
But please write it. Twitter is really the easiest
And they all
way. I don't
went
behave.
to become famous, but
They
you.
went on pretty well, except
right.
for me. Yeah, say it. Go ahead and say it.
I did. I said.
Yeah.
I did.
Wait, did we sing? It's Carrie's birthday
No,
on
that's not
Friday.
sing.
Happy birthday.
All right, Patty, no.
It's just an excuse for me to
Really
eat
not.
more cake with my
Happy
friend.
birthday to you. Adam, why aren't you singing?
Happy
birthday, dear Carrie. Happy birthday.
That is
to
such
you.
a depressing
Are
song.
you one? Are you
okay,
two?
you'll be here for
Are you
tomorrow.
one?
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank
We
you
love
Where are you
so
going to be
much,
next
everybody.
week, Carrie?
Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm going to.
Where?
We're going to be
Where?
at the
Where?
Governor's Comedy Club on
Yes.
Saturday night. It's with who am I opening for? A very funny person too. I don't know. It's Saturday night. I'll be there. I'll be there Thursday night and Saturday night. I hope you could come down. And
I'll be at Dangerfields tonight. I'll be at Dangerfields Friday night. Saturday night, I'm flying to Michigan to do a synagogue gig. I will. Why
You
do you think that's
braggart.
funny? Yeah, I am
Where are
bragging.
you?
I am no place, which is fantastic because I was in Washington all weekend and I got in 4 days. I got 7 hours sleep. I came home Sunday night, and I swear to God, I slept for 17 hours straight. I have never done. I went to bed at 7:30.
Kevin thought you were dead.
I woke up at 12:30. I've never slept more than 8 hours in the past 20 years.
I think
17 because the fucking last night we had to. The show ended. We went back to the room. I packed. We had to get up at 2:30. Why are we making a plane at 7 in the morning? Why would anyone do that
because
to
most
me?
comedians, they just want to run out. They
They-
don't care about the audience. They don't care about anything. They get the money and they're gone.
I can't sleep after a show. I need 4 hours up. I need to
I'm
calm
so
down.
wound up.
I bought pot out there because it's legal. It was the shittiest pot. Like it doesn't even knock my pot at home. Like fucking knocks me out. I can fall asleep.
I
Anyway.
want to go on the
Exactly.
road with both of you.
But the answer is
I'll
no.
open. I don't care, and I just want you to give me cheesecake like this. You made me so happy. Would
is
somebody?
all you.
Would you
This
book?
is all
Would you
you,
book
sir.
the three of
You
us?
could take
I
this
would.
home.
I'll open for these. I adore you both
We
so
cannot
much.
follow you.
Can I just
Oh,
say?
you could easily.
No.
Follow.
Can I
we
just
can't.
say when I used to work at the Poconos with you? Was it the Poconos? Those were the most fun shows. Now they don't even have one person on the show. It's and then
And I can't even get rebooked.
and you were the and we remember
I was the star of the show. I
you
can't
were the
get
star.
rebooked.
And remember we used to eat steaks and shit in the rest. Now they make us sit in the coat room and eat fucking out of a tray with dirty.
you gotta
I
pay
did my
50%.
one-man show at New York Comedy
Oh.
Club. To get back in New York Comedy Club, I'd have to show a video.
Carrie was the one who said you should do a one-man show, and then I see you did one. Was that?
I
did
did
have
a
anything to
one-man
do with
show called
Carrie?
What I Learned in Brooklyn is Don't Behave.
Okay.
And it was
All right,
about-
so here's what we're going
We
to
have
do.
to go.
Next time you come on, you'll tell us all about that. But we got to
you.
go because Adam's
I
got
love
another
you,
show
and I love
coming
you
in.
too, Adam.
I love you all. Good
love
night,
you all.
everyone.
Steve, we love you, Steve.
I love you
We
so
love
much.
you. Please tell Steve you love him. Goodbye.
I love him.
Thank you.
I
We
adore
do
you
love
guys.
you.
I adore you guys. You make my life better.